Hello everyone, Drake Robinson here. Okay, so today is September 11th, 2023. September 11th, of course we all know the day one of the worst terror attacks in modern American history, American history, ever took place. Now, let me just preface this by saying that, what happened on 9/11, is one of the worst things ever. It should have never happened at all. Feel so much empathy for the families and the victims, of course, of 9/11. Victims who are Muslims themselves, even in that case. So I just want to preface the video by saying that first. However, it is my belief, come to, everything I've been coming to research and everything I just learned gradually as as I'm still kind of in my, understanding of my new religion. Of course, you guys knew I converted to Islam about a month ago. And it is my personal belief that some folks have perverted, not all, but I would say a lot, some definitely percentage of Western America have pretty much just used 9/11 as an excuse to just forward their bigotry against Muslims, innocent, hardworking, American Muslims. They just completely perverted the whole 9/11 event, tragedy, exploited it, and used it as an excuse to, I guess, give their real feelings towards Muslims in general. Like, there have been Muslims, like, post 9/11 who have been shot at, chased down, have graffiti on their store windows, had their hijabs ripped off their heads, have had so many horrible things happen to them, all because of the bigotry that the Western part of the Western culture, Western side of the globe, I'll say, have, just the blue pillar Western side, have just completely, like, literally declared war on innocent Muslims. We're not even talking about terrorists or extremists. We're talking about, like, modern, these very moderate, very polite, very hardworking Muslims in this country. That is a fact. Like, I've literally had someone, a Muslim brother of mine, tell me a personal story that he was on a plane one time. He was 10 years old at the time, and he was with his parents, and there were literally people on the plane, this is post 9/11, calling their families, telling them they love them, because apparently a 10-year-old who's with his parents on a plane is also a horrible terrorist. There have been, Muslims walking down the street, and, people will just walk the other way. I mean, I feel like this particular day, like, yes, it is horrible, it was a tragedy, it should have never occurred, 9/11 at all. I wish it could have been prevented. But that is no excuse for the Western world to perpetuate their bigotry against Muslims and use the deaths of 3,000 people to just, I don't know, it enrages me thinking about it right now, because, like, there's so many innocent Muslims right now who suffered and paid the price for things they didn't even do. Things that the Western world just, accuse them of without any evidence, without any facts. And it's just very it's very rage-inducing. It really is. Like, I could never, like, have been in a position to where I could have, like, I don't know, like, I don't know, I don't know, it's like, you want to talk about, I mean, I talk about the bottom of the totem pole all the time, and people like myself are, but the Muslims, like, especially a couple years post 9/11, they were at the very, very bottom of the totem pole. Like, like literally they couldn't go to Times Square, uh, during New Year's Eve to watch the ball drop with the rest of the Westerners, the Blue Pillar Westerners, because they feared of getting assaulted for something they didn't even do. And that just shows the dumbing down of this country and how it slowly but surely has constantly been dumbing itself down. Because I remember back then it was like, you know, I don't know. It's just like, because, you know, I guess when Charles Manson and Timothy McVeigh, when they did what they did, and Jeffrey Dahmer, all them, it wasn't this big uprising to punish people for how they look, but it's only when Muslims do things, then people want to get all up in arms. And realistically, it's only Muslims in that position, and it's not really anyone else. Not really any other, you know, religion or race or anything. It's mainly Muslims put in that position, constantly being looked down upon because of how they look and how they dress and how they, you know, just the way they do things. It is very, very heart-wrenching. You know, it really will pull at your heartstrings. And if you don't sympathize with the innocent Muslims and all this, I question whether or not you're a sociopath. Quite honestly, I question whether or not you even have empathy for others. You're able to formulate any sort of, I guess, reasoning beyond your own personal bias and bigotry towards another religion, that just because of something some horrible people did back in that horrible terror attack, that you can't distinguish the fact that there are innocent Muslims out there who have also suffered, who are also victims in that said terrorist attack. I don't know, you need to reevaluate yourself, in my opinion. That is not the right way to go down. And, yeah, I just, you know, it was 9/11 today, so I figured I'd express, you know, and we should never forget it, because it was a horrible tragedy, but we also should never forget the innocent, the other innocent aspect, the innocent Muslims also who suffered both post years, you know, down the line, you know. But anyways, I'm out.